And can you come down so I can see the chat again? Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening to everybody in Great Britain or South Africa, wherever you may be. My name is Lewis Salim. I'm joined in the commentary area by my friend Daryl Brumbalala.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Thanks,
Liz, for having me.
So we've got coverage now of Great Britain versus South Africa in the Ladies Elite Division. Just run through the names of the GB Elite players when I find the sheet. So, Great Britain playing in white. Number 3, Sam Marlowe. Number 5, Fiona Maynard. Number 6, Amy Lever. Number 7, Rachel Bell. Number 8, Diana Carella. Number 9, Alyssa Oates. Number 10, Kim Mokes. Number 11, Claire Randall. Number 12, Charlotte Cooper. And number 13, Sophia Tapper. Standing on the side, we have Maddie Hollick and Nicola Yates. Their coach, Tim Dale. Starting off in this game has been some nice drives. And we've got a 1-on-2 situation here, which is a bit irregular. Yeah, and there's been a stoppage in the play, and just those 3 players continuing. As you can see, all the rest of the teams just waiting above the spot of where the referee is indicating there's going to be a foul. So, hi Naj. So we've got Naj is one of my friends from the Philippines. She's just messaged on the chat there. So we have got now for Great Britain. This is the biggest test they've probably had since the game they played against Colombia, the first game of the competition, which they lost 1-0. South Africa, currently the reigning world champions, had a mixed competition here so far, as they have a lot of teams, one of those being our own Great Britain Elite men, but Great Britain women now with a chance to show how they've gathered momentum and really push on against what is considered to be a top side here at this World Championships.
Yeah, for sure, and these teams have been having some tough competition across the division so far, but these two being 2 of the more top-level teams so far in the comp. Looks like they're pretty even so far in the match here. Good drives both ways, back and forth. Some nice stick handling there by GB player number 9.
That's a lovely little swim to the wall there for the camera by Alyssa Oates. Sure, it was more tactical than showpiece for the cameras, but both coming off there as Alyssa just tries to cut out that pass, and now we have a stoppage in the play.
And referee signaling a stick infringement. That's going to be against South Africa, so they'll pull that back, and GB will be happy with that, being able to get themselves out of their defensive zone. All right, there's the signal for the play. We'll cut to our underwater camera, and there's the flick through. South Africa knocks that down. GB holds them on the side wall, though. Nice little pull off by GB. Now looking for Ford to get the puck up to.
Yeah, that's Diana just unable to find the pass there as the South Africans bring it out into the middle, but then shoving it back onto the wall. It's with number 10 there, that's Roxanne Walmsley. There's now Rachel Bell, just tackles on the wall, unable to get the puck forward to Sam Marlowe. Those 2 teammates at West London and West London Ladies.
Good job by both teams here. Good hard play fighting along the wall. And another foul is signaled on the play. Just waiting for the referee's call, and it's going to be against GB. So South Africa going to get a advantage here on the 5-2 deep in GB zone. Let's see if they can take advantage of that, and we'll cut to our underwater camera. Here they go. They make the flick through. GB trying to shut that down. They do initially. South Africa trying to push it back out to the middle. That gets intercepted. Good job by both teams. Oh, here's a clear coming in by South Africa.
And I think this, if this doesn't go in, this is going to come back for an advantage play. A clear blocking foul by Sam Marlowe.
And they're looking for the signals of the referees. Yeah, that was a goal. Just a brief lapse in timing there on the GB defense getting down, and that opened up a huge hole, unfortunately, that allowed South Africa to punch right through. And so we have a 1-0 game with about 5 minutes gone so far in this game.
Yeah, Zandre Kurtz with the goal there. Is the referee just looking for number 3 and just trying to point at Sam Marlowe, who's currently changing her cap, and he's saying that I think he's giving her a warning. Oh no.
Oh, there's a delayed penalty on the call as well. It looks like against GB.
Yeah, as I was saying, I could clearly see the referee trying to play the advantage there. Didn't cut to the overhead camera. Sam Marlowe just seemed to drop down. So as the South African flicked the puck through into the gap towards the goal tray, she just dropped her body on top of the player, not trying to play the puck, and just stopped her from moving. So that was like a free play for South Africa there.
Right.
But resulting in a goal, but still a serious enough penalty. She's been chucked out for 2 minutes. So Great Britain have to come from behind, and they're going to have to do it with 5.
And she was swimming through over to the box there. I noticed she didn't have her white cap on either, so she must have either taken it off when she went to the box, or it popped off as well at the same time. She'll get that all sorted out in the box. She's got a little bit of time, it seems. The 2-minute penalty.
I think from previous experience of reffing, Sam, she wears her mask underneath.
All right, so it's going to be an advantage puck for GB. They'll be happy with that, considering that they're down to a 6-on-5 situation here. We'll see if they can get it out of the zone at least. Try and throw it out to the channel.
Yeah, as I was saying, Sam just wears her mask underneath her cap, so if that strap breaks or if it gets taken off, she's going to have to take off all her kit to be able to put it back on and put it right. So it's what works for her as a player. Unfortunately, this can happen as we now cut to the foul. We'll see what happens. Not looking at the referee's cameraman. It's an advantage puck against Great Britain. So Great Britain getting backed up. The puck will be on about the 10-meter line for the South Africans, and Great Britain backed just past halfway.
And here we go with South Africa now with the advantage puck. We'll see if they try and swing it out to the middle, or they're happy to stay in the channel. They are. They're going to keep driving it down that channel. GB trying to cut them off and come back. They do initially, but South Africa still on the push. Nice defensive play there by the GB player in the backfield.
Yeah, because of these stoppages, we've had a good chunk of time taken off that penalty that Sam Marlowe encountered. As Great Britain just trying to really hold out. It's on the wrong side. Sam will be getting in on this side where the camera is in 10 seconds. She will when the puck's played.
So that foul is called. It looks like it's going to be against South Africa. That's really good timing for GB, because their player is their penalty time is expired. So she'll be coming in out of the box as soon as the puck is touched. You'll see her swimming in from our left side here on the camera as they touch the puck.
You can just see Rachel Bell there just lowering her hand, just saying, everyone calm down, calm down.
Yep.
Play our game.
There comes the GB player in now. South Africa on the push.
Yeah, as a forward, Sam's going to re-enter the play there. What you might not have noticed at home if you don't play hockey is that typically when a team has a player sent out, they'll remove one forward, make sure that the back is the solid base. So if it's a forward that gets sent out, then they don't need to change anything. That forward will get straight back in and they'll rejoin the play. If it's a back that's been sent out, they'll tend to go straight across to the subs box, and then they'll let a forward back in and put the team back to its normal formation. We have another stick call here against the South Africans. They're going to get backed up to about the 8-meter line. Great Britain will have the puck on the 5. And it looks like Sophia Tapper's going to be over this one. Try and find a way out of the GB half and put some pressure on South Africa. Current score, South Africa 1, Great Britain 0, 7 minutes to go, just halfway through this first half. What do you thought so far, Daryl?
Well, it's been a fantastic matchup so far between these two teams. I mean, they're really solid play. Looks like both of them are working that wall channel really well. Neither one wanting to let them get the better of it down the wall. Hasn't been a lot of open play in the middle, except for a couple small breakdowns. Maybe we'll see the game open up a little bit as the game goes on, or if they're just going to try and work that wall channel and then cut through to the middle near the goal.
Yeah, it's always a shame. We had this when I was commentating on the Great Britain versus Spain game earlier, and I think one of the things that upsets these Great Britain squads is the interruption and the rhythm. So they're just not able to find a rhythm, not able to find their own. There's a beautiful few plays that they had yesterday against the Netherlands where just the play allowed to continue and they're able to find those gaps and get through them, but not really to find any sort of rhythm, because on these advantage pucks, every time they give them, both teams have 5 players down. So there's just nowhere to go unless you're going to go stretching the play, swimming out wide.
Right. You see this typically too with some of the teams such as Team Australia and that, where they tend to play a more of a swing play type of game. The game tends to open up a lot more, and that's why we tend to get those open pools. But depending on the team formation and the style they play, a lot of times they do get stuck in the wall channel like this. It's more of a grinding game as they go through.
Amy Lavova unable to knock the puck down as it goes through, but great defensive effort by GB. This looks like Claire Randall bringing it over to the side. She has Sam Marlowe in front of her, Alyssa Oates on the inside, and Sam Marlowe has a chance to swim now. Here's the open play that GB needed, but Sam anticipating there'd be a player there and putting the puck in the right place, decent distance away from the goal, cut out by the South Africans, and now they counter as GB swimming back into defensive positions.
Yeah, good drop pass to their back, but GB all over that, so that's a good interception there. Oh, but South Africa gains possession again, makes the flick through. Here comes 2-on-1, push through, and it's a quick goal for South Africa. As just a bit of a timing issue on the cycle, it looked like in the backfield as the puck was lost.
Nope, that's not going to be a goal. Referee out the back there, don't know the number, it's number 12.
All right.
But he's declared that it's not a penalty, and he says that the initial touch that was controlled was using the glove, and it's going to come back. It's going to be a Great Britain puck on the 5-metre line. The South Africans just saying, we put that in clean, what's wrong? And just the first touch comes off the glove. Then you put it in with a stick, you've still fouled because you're not allowed to play the puck with your glove at all.
Exactly, and with that, the GB coach calls a timeout, probably wanting to settle the team down a little bit here. They're seeing the South Africans get these pushes, and like I said, it looked to be a small cycling timing issue there in the backfield that may have cost them potentially a goal there. Luckily, that foul was called, and so they didn't get the better advantage of that. So it still remains 1-0 in the first half. We will be coming back here in about 10 seconds after the timeout. And for those of you tuning in right now, we appreciate it. And the teams, I'm sure, definitely appreciate all your support out there. Feel free to also let us know if the video is having any problems or if the audio is blinking out. We'll try and get that sorted out for you as the game goes on. All right, and here we go. GB coming out of their zone again. They're driving up the wall now in that wall channel. South Africa trying to counter. Oh, now GB tries to get it off the wall. Good drive coming up the field now. South Africa stops that though. Oh, great hit by the GB attack. And here comes GB now on the push. Now we get a 2-on-1. Things are getting much more strong for GB. Now here goes towards the goals, right on the corner. Can they put it in? There's the flick back towards the middle. Somehow South Africa manages to stop that, but there's a call on the goal, and they're calling a stick infringement that happened a little behind the play, so it wasn't inside the 3-meter. There won't be a penalty shot, but we will have an advantage deep in GB's zone here. So on the 5-meter line, GB gets the advantage. South Africa, all players down. There's a flick through, nice flick through. We're looking to see if they can seal that off. It's going to be close. They're trying hard. One GB player on the corner of the goal, another foul called. And they're calling a penalty goal. There was a foul, a gloving foul on the corner of the goal, it looked like, or right near the front of the goal. And so that will be a goal for Team GB, tying it up 1-1 in the first half. Well, things have changed rather quickly in this game, and it seemed like both teams were really grinding along the walls there. GB called the timeout after that almost goal that happened previously by the South Africans. It looks like they've got their team reorganized now with that timeout, and GB has come out now with some new life on the attack. South Africa trying hard now to regain their dominance and control that they had earlier in the match. But GB gaining more confidence as the play goes on. They're really scrapping now on the wall. A little bit of stick handling there. They get the little pop-up through to South Africa. Now here's the 2-on-1, 3-on-1 situation. Oh, a good flick pass, and they drive that one back in. What a nice play by South Africa. Breaking it down, it's 3-1 now for South Africa. 2-1 now for South Africa. That was a great 3-on-1 drive there, coming off that wall. Really nice drive. So South Africa now goes up 2-1 with about 2 minutes left in the first half. And we've got a timeout now by South Africa after that play. So black timeout after scoring the goal, just to give their team a little bit of a breather with a short amount of time left in this first half. They probably want to make sure that the plan is that they don't get a quick drive down before the end of the first half and score a tying goal. And we'll see if that plan holds up. All right, so here we get ready to start again after the timeout. And we've got about 2 minutes left in the game. Both teams getting to the center of the pool near the same time. Nice little flick through by GB. South Africa trying to counter and push it back. They're trying to get at the outside wall. GB happy to play to the middle of the pool where they seem to get more success that last time. Here's the push again by GB, trying to shove it back into the middle. South Africa all over them, driving it back onto the outside wall. GB now looking to get that attack going again, but a foul called on the play. And I believe that's going to be against South Africa. It is. It's a stick infringement against South Africa. So GB is going to get another advantage here on the 5 and 2 as they set that up. Or along the 5-meter line, not the 5 and 2, but it is on that 5-meter line. Here we go. They drive out towards the middle, make a little flick in. That gets a little tip. It turns into a roller. They're trying to push hard on the corner of the goal. South Africa down. Here comes a cut across. Nobody there to pick it up, though. And South Africa will just drive it out towards the corner. And there's another foul signaled on the play. It's a gloving call against GB, unfortunately. And South Africa will get the advantage coming out of their end. South Africa definitely going to be pleased with that call. They needed a little bit of a relief there. And here comes the start of play again. South Africa just going to throw it to the outside. Nice little flick outside there. A little bit of stick handling. Try and hold it on the wall. Try to run down the clock with 30 seconds left here in the first half. GB trying to get something going. They're trying to pick it, pull it off, and move it back out to the middle. They briefly get it off the wall. South Africa trying to attack that. They're going to swim it all the way across to the far wall, though, and try and run down the clock. But another foul is called on the play. And the referees are calling a stick infringement against GB, but that's not going to be enough time to reset the play. So that'll be the halftime here. 2-1 for South Africa over GB at the half. What a fantastic match so far. Very evenly matched teams. Both teams playing the corridors along the wall very well. South Africa appears to be a little bit stronger coming down those corridors and popping off the side walls. GB, though, once they got things rolling after their timeout, made some really great plays right up the middle of the pool. I believe if they can do that in the second half, we're going to see a whole new game turning around here for them. So stay tuned for more live underwater hockey here. We're going to take a couple-minute break while they go through the timeout. Both teams will talk some strategy. We'll be right back with you with more live hockey from the 2018 Underwater Hockey World Championship. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to our viewers across the pond in the UK and also down in South Africa here. You see George Watson tuned in. Good afternoon, George. Happy to have you here on the YouTube chat with us watching this match here between South Africa and Great Britain Women's League team. We'll see if the teams have had some good strategy talks and how things are going to play out. We should see the tone set right off this first face-off here in the second half. So here we go. South Africa getting to the puck first. Oh, a straight drive right through the middle. GB trying to counter that and pick the puck back. South Africa still on the push hard. GB trying to now work it out to the outside wall. And they do. South Africa continuing the pressure though. And the puck getting slightly lifted up along the wall there with the sticks. But referee going to let them play on. And they continue to do battle on the wall. Now there's the call on the surface by the referee. And I believe that was going to be the stick infringement call, and it's going to be against GB this time. So South Africa will keep the advantage puck here. Thanks, George, for letting me know. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I just turned it up a little bit. And here we go, back on the play. South Africa with the advantage puck. They work it down the wall again. GB trying to counter. Oh, good hit there by South Africa, but that was a stick infringement. The two stick-on-stick hit there by South Africa. Referee's playing the advantage, and there's the call. There must have been something happening behind the play. They were already playing advantage on the earlier advantage puck for breaking. So GB, unfortunately, loses the opportunity to get an advantage puck here. South Africa will take this. All right, here we go. South Africa flicking across. GB trying to counter that, and another call on the surface by the referee. They're throwing somebody out, I believe. It looks like there may be a GB player that is going to go to the box. Yes, it is. Penalty against GB, again, I believe for breaking, and South Africa will take the advantage. Look how far the South Africans are up front there. Look at the huge swim by the South Africans there. GB all stacked up on their goal. They knock it down, though, and get that puck back out. Good drive out, being 6-on-5 situation. And both teams, again, going at it. We'll see if they can capitalize on this, South Africa, or if GB can hold off and wear down that penalty. It was a 1-minute penalty, I believe, for Sam Marlowe. Good job by GB wearing that clock down. They continue the pressure on South Africa. South Africa trying to get it back out into the GB's, and a penalty called again, this time against South Africa. That'll be good timing with Sam Marlowe back in the water in about 10 seconds. So pretty much as soon as the puck is going to be touched, we'll have GB back at full strength deep in South Africa's zone. All right, you'll see the GB player coming in from the upper left corner of your screen here, probably going to come straight into the play, I believe. There she goes. And GB on the wall, both teams fighting hard. Now GB trying to pop it out the middle. There's the attack. They push through, but a call on the play as that push gets through. And it's a stick infringement call against South Africa. So GB had the advantage. Unfortunately, there was something already being called. Therefore, they'll get the advantage at the 5-2. And GB now will be on the push. Here comes GB now with the advantage puck. They drive out towards the middle, make a flick through towards the center of the goal. South Africa stops that, but GB gains it back. Here comes the push through. Nice push, but South Africa manages to pop that out towards the outside wall. They slow down their push here just to get set up. GB tries to strip the puck, come back out to the middle. South Africa down in numbers, though, holding them off. GB now trying to get it going again, and the puck gets lifted up along that wall. We'll see if the referee calls that up or is happy to let it play. Both teams back and forth. And South Africa continues to drive, so referee doesn't see any problem with that. Lets it go. South Africa continues to drive. They're coming all the way down now. They try to cut into the inside. Oh, a good drop pass to the South African defender now. GB on the back wall trying to hold them off. Have support, South Africa. Oh, and a bad timing cycle on the GB as South Africa pushes in there. Somehow they managed to briefly stop that on the wall. South Africa continuing the pressure, though. GB works it out to the corner, and the forward comes in to pick that. South Africa going to try and get it around and swing it off the wall, but can't before the foul happens. Referee signals a gloving call against GB, so South Africa will get another advantage puck here deep in GB territory. The GB backs are going to have to watch their timing here as South Africa is catching them on the breaks. And here comes South Africa now. They make the flick through. It hits somebody in the arm, and they continue the play. GB gets possession of the puck again. Referee does not make a call, and they continue to play as GB tries to come out of their zone. They drop the puck back. South Africa continues to play, and my fellow commentator Lewis Adams back. Welcome back, Lewis.
Thank you. Sorry for those GB fans expecting me to be doing this commentary. Unfortunately, I do still have referee duties to do. Just in the kit check for the German and New Zealand team, which are coming up next in my pool. But I'm glad to be back for the remainder of the second half as we have another stoppage.
All right, so another foul called up here, and that's going to be against GB once again. Looks like it was a gloving call. So South Africa maintaining their dominance here. GB doing some amazing defensive work to keep that puck out in their zone. 2-1 still for South Africa. South Africa now on the advantage.
So just to remind people, or just to let people know that have just joined us in this game, can you tell us how the scoring went? It went 1-0 to South Africa in the first half.
Yeah, then it was tied up, and then unfortunately, or not unfortunately, South Africa did a really nice drive on a bad timing from GB, and it looks like they've just possibly scored again here. They have. South Africa's put in a third goal now, so it's 3-1. And a beautiful drive in there by South Africa. The GB back line appears to be having a little bit of timing issues with their cycle, and South Africa is capitalizing on those small mistakes. As they see the player going up, there's a bit of a hole there, and they're pounding in really quickly and getting underneath the GB player, and that's what's happened, unfortunately, with those last couple of goals.
So with just over 8 minutes in this half, Tim Dale, the Great Britain coach, he calls his timeout. You're a coach here, Daryl. If you were in this situation as your coach with your USA Ladies Masters team, what would you be saying to your girls to try and what would you want them to do in this situation going to see out the end of this game?
Well, I'd first try to identify where the problems were and talk about the strategy, our game plan, and try to make sure that we're getting back to our game plan. For us in particular, we may be having some cycling issues, and we see that South Africa, where they're coming up down the side and really working that from the side of the pool and driving in hard. So I'd be making sure that we have our line cycling in the backfield, shutting that down, working it back out from our defensive zone, back out to the middle of the pool, and then getting back into the area where we are most strong, or GB here being the most strong, is in the middle of the pool. They were dominating South Africa after they took that timeout in the first half, and came right down the middle of the pool, and they were smashing good. So I think they need to get right back to that again.
Yeah, sorry, Daryl, but that took you just over your minute of a timeout, so I think the referees would usher you off the playing surface there. But so maybe some work for your future games when you've got some critiquing to do. But yeah, you are right. You know, Great Britain need to stick to what they're strong at, and they've just been awarded an advantage puck here. Nice position. They can head in on a 45 towards the goal. Looks like Sophia Tapper's going to deal with this one. She goes with the dummy. Dummy's out to the left and keeps swimming. The important thing, and all the girls going forward with it. It's the driving maul now. Just as you can see, you can only tell the puck's moving towards the goal because all the players are moving towards the goal. Flicking on towards the tray. Looks like it's stopped by a stick as now South Africa clear out to their defensive corner underneath the subs bench.
And a good job here by the South African defense trying to knock that puck down and get it back out towards the corner, and they do, but there's another foul called on the play.
Maybe your volume's too high, Ben. Nobody else is complaining.
All right. Looks like the referees are calling a ref's timeout there. I believe there was a call going each way there. We'll see what's going to happen here. There was a call or a foul, I believe, close to the goal on that drive out. They may be looking to call a penalty shot here, but I'm waiting to see what the verdict will be. So stand by here for a moment as the chief ref is discussing with the water refs over on the side of the pool. either way, it's a great little drive there by GB in towards the corner of the goal. South Africa did manage to get that out just before the foul was pulled up.
I always say when I'm doing these, we've had a signal and they're swimming back here, and Rachel Bell swimming forward. So it looks like the decision has been they've awarded a penalty shot.
That's
Rachel Bell and Sophia Tapper move over the puck, trying to look. It's number 11 for the South African team, Zandre Kutz, who was the first goal scorer in this game. So.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It looked like there was a foul near that goal, and I was pretty sure it was in the 3-meter, and that's why they wanted to confer, and that's exactly what happened, and so we have the penalty shot.
Bell and Tapper against Kutz. Her hands against the wall. She's off the wall. It's a nice flick onto the tray. Beautifully done there. Well executed by Rachel Bell. Rachel Bell flicking the puck on, and Sophia Tapper covering on that side. They will have practiced that again and again and again to make sure that it's done well. Great job there, girls. And now this brings the games back to another interesting time where South Africa can't just sit behind the lead, and that's, I think, what Tim Dale must have said straight away. Girls, you go out and attack this match now. You don't let them get in a position where they can sit and defend for the rest of the match. Yeah, defending with a 2-goal cushion is very different from defending with a 1-goal cushion. Game on.
Most definitely. That was a fantastic flick through there. South Africa not getting down quick enough, and a beautiful flick through to the penalty shot into the goal.
There's some beautiful comments coming on here. Nick Horncastle, for those of you who don't know, his daughter is playing in this game, Amy Lever. She is Great Britain's number 6. And so he's cheering on there. And then George Watson and a few others, Gemma Tully, obviously knowing that he's from South Africa, just saying he's a bit of a defector. Nice to have those bits of banter. I'm loving this chat that's on the YouTube channel. Really good execution. High flick there, knocked down. Not dangerous. Looks like he's come off a knee. But now we have a call. Let's see what's being said here.
They're calling advantage puck for South Africa here in this situation. George and I are good mates. We've refed many a tournament together at Worlds, and it's good to see him on here, and Nick Horncastle as well, another very good friend of mine. All right, both these teams going hard at it again. Here comes a flick in from South Africa. GB does a good job stopping that.
Needs to come out to the side.
Beautiful push out to the outside.
There we go. Who's that? Let's have a look. That was...
Let's see, we got no defenders down there. They flicked to the outside. South Africa did the quick curl. We're looking to drive in, but thankfully one of the GB attackers came in.
There's Amy. That's Amy just like holding the puck on. That's a classic reset by the GB girls. Just pin it onto the wall. Give those girls time to get back in their positions and then start this drive up. Here's Amy Lever again.
There we go. Drop pass, slide it off the wall. Nice little stick handling there by GB.
Yeah, Rachel Bell just making sure that the player didn't know which way she was going, so she's not easy to defend. Amy down again. Tries to pull it back from under her body. Gets it out from under her body. Gets it forward to Fiona Maynard. Fiona Maynard trying to do battle here against the number 5 from South Africa, Van der Meer.
That's a team captain there. Good job by GB there. They started to control that corridor really well there up until that point. Unfortunately, South Africa did take over again. I really think GB needs to get it back into the center of the pool. They were doing some excellent work coming down the middle of the pool. South Africa was having a lot of problems with that, but they're continuing to play in the corridor, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, stopping the play here. By request of people on the chat, we just turned down the underwater camera, so we just seeing, and no complaints so far. I don't know if you guys can still hear the buzzers when it's going off. If you could let us know, that would be great. But with people saying it's so loud, just making sure that we get a good balance. And it seems to have come together today. Reports of the best audio quality. I've been sacked from driving, so you've got proper camera operators. All the technology on the side of the pool, because if you might not know, but it's all linked in together. I'll come back to that once we have this attack by South Africa, bringing it off on the 45, trying to just edge the way towards that corner of the right side tin as we look at it, and now we have the stop.
And another pull up, and that'll be against South Africa, so GB is going to get a little bit of relief. It's a stick infringement call, so I'm sure they'll be pleased with that. 3.5 minutes left. GB now needs to start really thinking here about how they're going to get down and get this tying goal in this game. They're going to have to push soon, not wait too long here. So here they come out with the advantage puck down the corridor once again. South Africa just stacking the bodies up though. GB trying to get it out of that corridor. and they get it out to the center court, but South Africa trying to still hold them along that wall. Now we'll see if GB tries to pop it off as they try to get through. No, they're just going to continue to drive the corridor and use their legs and drive it right down there. They do. Now here comes a push by GB. In on the goal. South Africa down in numbers, trying to stop that. GB on the push, trying to herd them out of the center of the pool back towards the corner, and they do.
So, yeah, GB far side of the pool. Oh, coming off on the 45. She's got some space to swim. Needs to get the flick away.
Oh.
Gets the flick away. There's a stop in the play.
Gets a flick, and there was a knockdown by the arm there as it went towards the goal.
Yeah, it's the question is, I think that came in early. Jean. Hey, Jean, move, please. Thank you. Sorry to shout at you down the microphone. So I think the referee's now taking a timeout. Because definitely there, as the puck was flicked in towards the goal, as me and Daryl have described, it's knocked down by the arm. And if that's the case, in that situation, I think both of us as experienced referees are going to award it as a penalty goal. To me, knowing the delay between the referee signalling for the foul and the buzzer coming up, I think that this foul is slightly earlier. Good work by GB. So I don't think we're going to see the penalty goal here, but it's whether there's any further action. So you might see that it's a foul against Great Britain, but the South Africans may be penalised for something that they've also done, and that's why the referees are just taking this time to, do a proper discussion, because we've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. So we've got the 2-minute stop clock, but with one goal in it, these referees are being briefed, especially as we get further through the competition. Make sure that anything that's deliberate or anything that's disrupting the gameplay to a point where a team that might be winning by a goal is gaining an advantage, we need to manage that correctly and not have anything comes back. So
it's going to be a legal knockdown, and that was the earlier call. There was a ref playing the advantage, and they're saying there was a foul before that. So it will be an advantage now for South Africa coming out of their zone with 2.5 minutes left to play in the game. So heartbreak for GB getting down that close to the goal, but we'll see if they can regain possession here.
Referees just taking the time to say, this is what I've seen and this is when I saw it. What was your view on that from your different angle, and making sure that when you're making big decisions like this, everybody's input means that the correct decision is made. And South Africa now, after that let off, are just able to swim it all the way down to the other end of the pool, trying to go down the back wall now. First move, trying to go down the back wall, coming towards the corner of the goal. Great Britain getting the bodies down. You can see two girls right on the centre of your picture, just down and over the tray. And now we have a stoppage. Referee signalling I was playing an advantage, and we've got another referee's timeout.
Referee's calling for an obstruction penalty shot against GB, who was playing an advantage on that play against GB, and he is clearly signaling I was playing the advantage. It's definitely obstruction call and a penalty shot. And both other referees
and he's just
not contesting that whatsoever. The referee tried to explain to the GB captain, I believe that is, number 7, Rachel Bell, explaining the call and the reason that it will be a penalty shot.
Well, he's going to have judged it to have been a likely goal. Hard to tell there. And
so he is saying it's definitely a penalty shot here. So
yeah, I don't know if that was against Rachel or if he's just telling Rachel this is what's happened and this is why it's the call. Because so much going on there. This camera doesn't pick it up when it's on the far side, unfortunately. But I believe these referees, the way they communicate with each other, have probably reached the best call.
Here's a shot coming in. Oh, and a little roller off to the left side. Gets past the GB defender cleanly, and that will be signaled as a goal. So 4-2 for South Africa. Really nice play by South Africa. They're getting the penalty shot straight in. We've seen one both ways now, one for GB and one for South Africa.
Yeah, I don't think that was actually the flick. I think the South African player in that situation, from what I saw on the video, South African player is trying to flick it to the right side, straight behind Rachel Bell, maybe a little bit of a chip and chase, and then to shut her out before she can get to the wall. I think Rachel Bell's got her stick to that, and just in the sheer force, it's just spat out because it was it wasn't a direct, it was more of a sideways thing, and it was spinning like heck.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I think Rachel got a stick to that, and really unlucky there, Rachel Bell.
Well, we can go back. Thankfully, we can go back and look at the video on that later on and see if that's the case for sure. All right, here GB comes now again down the pool. South Africa is probably going to just try and hold them to the outside wall and run down the clock now with 1:20 left on the clock.
Rachel just swarmed out there as she tried to go through a gap, and it just closing over time, and then the South Africans just getting all the bodies around her. And maybe just the GB team getting a bit tired at the end of this game, or that 2-goal deficit in the last 2 minutes just disheartening them a little bit. And you know, Rachel trying to do everything, and this is one of the best characteristics about her as a leader. She does not stop, even no matter what the score is. It could be 10-0, and if she gets a chance to go forward and do something for her team, she'll do it. And she tries to rally the girls around her in that sort of spirit. As now we have a bit of a break on our hands.
Oh, here we go with the GB breaking for the goal. They managed to get a nice pick there and drive it down. And that will be a goal. That was a beautiful pick.
Yeah,
by the
Charlie
GB
Cooper
forward.
there. Charlie
Wow.
Cooper with the goal. And that's that thing. Sometimes, you know, that move by Rachel wasn't, it didn't come to anything. But it makes the girls realise, like, you know, she's down on the road. I need to do more. I need to be down. So then they're moving around in the pool and they get down. And that was, I'm pretty sure that those girls have looked at that and says, we need to get down. They've got down from the half back along the wall, got it through to Charlie Cooper. Charlie's got a nice little swim, and when she gets going, she's got some great top end speed as Charlie Cooper. Unfortunately, 2-minute stop clock not working when goals are scored, and that brings us to the end of the second half. So
yeah, not enough time to finish that off. I was hoping the refs had got that puck set. They'd have maybe about 15 seconds. You can swim the length of the pool on a full break in 15 seconds, but going through defenders, not easy to do. So that'll be the game. 4-3 South Africa over Great Britain. Fantastic game between these two women's league teams, very evenly matched. And stay tuned, and we may have an interview here with one of the team captains.
Unfortunately, I don't have time after this game, so I won't be doing an interview. Daryl, if you want to interview some of our girls, or you can do an interview from a very neutral point of view, that might be quite good for the spectators, because obviously it's not just Great Britain who have been watching this game, the South Africans have too.
For sure.
I'm going to probably go and I've got to go do some reffing for 3 games in a row now, but coming up later in a couple of hours' time, we have the Great Britain men's Masters team playing against the Colombian men's Masters team, and I will be back for that with uninterrupted commentary as I've got no gear check to do after that game. So thank you for filling in for me, Darren. It was great that there was uninterrupted commentary through this game. It was a great job sharing the commentary booth with you once again.
For sure,
so
you as well.
Have a nice interview, and I'll see you later on. Good luck in your game this afternoon as well.
All right, thank you, Lewis. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody from the pond, and we'll see if we can get an interview here shortly with the teammates. Stand by, and we'll be right back with you with more live commentary here on the 2018 World Championships.
Yeah, of course. So Daryl, coach of the Master Women USA.
All right, what a fantastic game that was between you and GB. You guys both look like you're fighting hard, especially down the corridors. Is that a typical style that we see from the South African ladies team?
Yeah, and I think we played really, really hard. We played a good game. We got our groove on, and at the last little bit, we actually started putting our engines on, and we started getting some results from that.
Yeah, that was an excellent drive, especially finishing off the game in that fourth goal there. We noticed in the first half, you know, you guys were up, I think it was 2-1 at the time.
Yeah.
GB coach called a timeout, and then all of a sudden they really turned it on, and they came hard down the middle of the pool and scored a goal pretty quickly. How did your team react to that when that happened?
Yeah, no, GB was really good with capitalizing on their timeouts, and that was a good step from them to get them geared on again. But I think our girls were patient, and we just kept going, and we just took back the control.
Good. Well, an excellent match between you, very evenly, and I'm sure you're going to see them again as we progress into the final. So good luck to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, stay tuned for more live action here at the 2018 World Championships, and we've got some fantastic matches coming up. I'm Daryl Brambilla. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next match.
Pour vrai? Il y a un autre stand. Non, regarde à gauche.